If you ask yourself or others, why am I not getting online dating success? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with online dating that it sucks so much? Well, I've got 5 reasons that might explain why online dating just isn't the best experience for you so far. What's good everyone, Mario here. In this video, what I want to share with you are 5 reasons that might help explain why you're not achieving online dating success. These are going to be 5 reasons that maybe you didn't think of or aren't considering, but I want to point out to you because I think there are things that people need to have pointed out to them so that you can stop making this mistake if you're not having the results that you want. Before I get started, let me remind you that if you're not fully satisfied with your dating or your online dating experience, I encourage and invite you to join us in one or both of our free academies. We've got Get Game Group Academy for dating and relationships, and we have Get Game Group Online Dating Academy, both of which send out free weekly videos that are designed to help you up your game. Joining is super easy, and link is in the description or in the cards for this video. All right. Okay, so here we go. We have 5 reasons that might be unknown to you why you're not doing so well with online dating. Let me start off with the first one, and it is the Pareto principle. If you've not heard of this, this is the 80-20 rule. Basically saying that in various situations, damn near almost everything in life can basically be explained as far as 20% of the input is responsible for 80% of the output, and 80% of the input is responsible for only 20% of the output. What that means to you is that just like in sexual selection, just like in dating, the online dating world follows suit in adhering to this Pareto principle, this 80-20 rule, meaning there's a top 20% of this online dating world that's getting 80% of the results, 80% of the opportunities, 80% of the matches, the conversations. What's up with that? Why is it working out like that? That's not fair to you. Exactly. It's not fair, but that's the system that you're working with. All right. So do you want to be a part of the top 20% or the bottom 80%? Remember, the bottom 80%, if you're not in that top 20%, it doesn't matter if you're in the top 30%. If you're in the top 30%, you're still in the bottom 80%, okay? And that bottom 80% is fighting within itself for that remaining 20% of results. That means that explains why there's so many of that bottom 80% who are going every Friday and Saturday night without a date, empty, alone, and unhappy. It's because there's not enough results to be spread around for this bottom 80%. Meanwhile, if you're in the top 20% of this online dating world, you have tons of options. You have options for who you want to go out with this weekend, how many different people you want to give an opportunity to. Life is great. You have tons of conversations, tons of connections, tons of dates, tons of meets. You have a great experience with online dating if you're in the top 20%. And it's not impossible to get into, even if you're not currently in the top. Even if you're still in the bottom 80% right now, it's possible. Because what you can do is bump up your online dating competency so that you know what pictures to put in, what written content to include, how to communicate, and just how to get yourself to that first meet that much faster without any hiccups or mess ups. So you can improve yourself. There are opportunities, and I'm always talking about those opportunities, okay? But that is our first reason. You just might not be aware that that Pareto principle is in effect in this online dating world. Number 2, the second reason why so many people are not achieving success with online dating is that they don't want to be competitive. They want success to be handed to them. They want someone to choose them over everyone else, despite me asking them, be like, so why should someone choose you? And they're like, nice? Yeah. If you don't have that much going on for you, like, you don't deserve the best results. You got to be competitive. I think that you always need to be building yourself up. So that means in all ways, not just physically, but mentally, competency-wise, get better socially. All these things, they add to your total package, okay? And the better your total package, the more competitive you are to qualify for better opportunities, okay? That's how it works, but you got to be competitive. This isn't elementary school where someone is gonna say like, no, we have to make teams even. We have to spread out the results. No one's gonna do that. This is the real world. All right, in the real world, there are haves and have-nots. Which side do you want to be on? You got to fight for it. You got to pay the price, and no one is just going to hand you success. If you think life's gonna be like that, you're still waiting for $1 million to fall from the sky. It's not going to happen until you pay the price. So put in the work, get better, What ways can you get better? What ways can you improve? What ways can you improve your total package to be more appealing and desirable to your dating targets? Be competitive. You got to be your best, okay? The third reason why people might be unsuccessful in the online dating world is because they lack consistency. All right. One of the things that people do is they're like, okay, I'm going to do great with this online dating. Okay, well, when's the last time you logged in and were messaging people? Sometime last week. Look, if you want to be consistent, if you want to be successful with online dating, you have to be consistent. And I know it seems like, oh man, well, what sort of consistency are you talking about? I'm talking about probably daily use. 6 days out of the week, you're using it for 20 minutes to send out new messages, reach out to connections, old and new, to work on your profile or whatever it is. You need to log in even just on a daily basis. When you do this on a daily basis, you are staying in tune. You're not falling behind, and you're also doing what I think is important. You're tending to this garden, and always keeping it growing with new opportunities and new connections, and you're nurturing conversations, and you're always pushing for new meets. And then you can always see who else is out there that you still want to connect with. All right, but you have to stay consistent. You can't message someone and connect with them and have a really great conversation on a Monday and then not do anything until Friday. And when you reach back out to them, guess what? You might be forgotten. You might not have such standing. That feeling of just connection that they had with you on Monday, you might not be able to expect the same thing on a Friday. You have to be consistent. So it's really important for you to progress to that first meet, obviously, but also it's important for you to just not allow yourself to be forgotten or allow someone else the opportunity to step in when you're not doing anything because you're not logging in and you're not participating. All right? Be consistent. Look, we waste more time on the toilet, looking at Facebook, watching TV. Don't say you don't have time. I'm saying give yourself 20 minutes to kind of daily add new connections, develop those connections, and move on, okay? Next up, the fourth reason that people might not be having the best online dating experience is because they're making a bad impression because of a poor profile construction. This means that there's something wrong with their pictures or their written content, and it's really hindering them because with online dating, I think you need to understand that sometimes it just takes one mistake for someone to be like, yeah, pass. One mistake, one bad picture. You could have 5 great pictures, but if one picture is bad, that might be all someone needs to discard you and move on to the next one. In your written content, if it's not interesting, if you said something that people didn't like, just one thing. It could be just one thing, and that could be just torpedoing your online dating profile and how people perceive it. So it's super important that we understand that our first impression has to be really taken care of and really given all this attention so that we have the perfect setup for our pictures. We have the perfect written content, well thought out, and we didn't just slap something up thinking that it would succeed. There's an art to picture selection. There's an art to writing your written content in a clear and concise and well-representing manner. But you can't just slap something up in 5 minutes and expect success. You need to do your homework. You need to get some help sometimes even to create a great online dating profile. Make that first impression work for you and make sure that you're, void of any mistakes that would be, preventable, okay? Number 5 reason why people are not succeeding with online dating is that your communication skills suck, all right? This is something that I see come up time and time again. People are like, oh man, I'm just not having great luck with online dating. And I look at their online dating profile and I look at their messages and they've got connections. The problem is they can't do anything with those connections. Even the people who have complained to me the most about like, oh, online dating doesn't work. I don't have any connections. I don't get any dates out of it. I'm like, okay, let me see your online dating, your app. Let me get in. Let me take a look at it. There's always connections, and there's always even conversations. The problem is, what are those conversations? Oftentimes, they're just bland. They're vanilla. They're boring. They're average. They're not even much of an effort. They don't add value. Like, how excited are you if I were to message you on an online dating app, hey? Unless I look like Brad Pitt, you're not excited about hey. So if you look like Brad Pitt, Awesome. If you don't, you might need to make sure that you up your communication value that you're offering. I'm not saying be a dancing monkey. I'm saying be someone that someone would want to have a conversation with, because if they don't like the conversation via text, they don't want to have it in person. In person, they can just imagine, oh my God, this would be even more boring. So part of the problem is that a lot of people lack the skills to communicate well. You got to take risks. You got to have an edge. You got to have something about you that you're unafraid to talk about or just be open about. There are all these different elements of communication that you can improve upon, and when you do, your results will improve. But you can't complain about online dating doesn't work when, if we look at your conversations, would you rate them like 8 or above as far as entertaining, fun, interesting? If it's not 8 or more, then we have a problem. All right. You need to be at that 8 or more entertainment value offering. That's the zone we need to be in. And if you're like at a 7, 6, 5, well, that's great that you're not at a 2. But a 5 is going to still get the same rejection probably as a 2. A 7 is still going to get passed on just as much as a 4. So think about that. All right. So there we have it, 5 different reasons that you probably might not be considering, explaining why you might not be having the greatest online dating success. Think about them. And for all of you viewers, I encourage you, I know I didn't list all of them, so go ahead and share with me what else you would add to this list. As always, take care and see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you appreciated the content from this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And male or female, if you're not satisfied with your dating or online dating experience, I invite you to join one or both of our free academies. We have Get Game Group Academy and Get Game Group Online Dating Academy, both of which send out free weekly videos designed to help you up your game.